Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. If you read the title, we are going to be discussing the upbringing of Fimiguerrero today. If you haven't seen my other video, I did a similar video on Feng. So if you want to go check that out after this video, yeah, go ahead and do that. It's on my channel. You know how to find it. So I just wanted to talk about the UK rap. I like talking about the underground UK rap. I'll probably do a fake mink video next, maybe an SD Kid video. But let's get straight into it. To start off, I just want to talk about how Fimiguerrero has 1.3 million monthly listeners, which seems like a lot more than the rest of the UK underground. And while I don't think Fimiguerrero is a TikTok artist, I will say that he has had lots of success on the app, with Mandy and Vogue and Gucci all on that same album. So I will say a lot of his monthly listeners probably generate from those songs, and they're all like really good songs, so it makes sense to me. But that's genuinely like how I found out about him, because I heard those songs first, and then I kind of dove deeper and learned a little bit more about him. So Fimiguerrero has actually been in the game for a long time. He dropped his first album back in 2019 called Human Anatomy, and I will say that didn't do the best. I mean, the best song on there had 26,000 listens, or like the most popular song on there. And then he's also released a self-titled album in 2021 that didn't do that well. He released multiple albums in 2021, another one called No Way Out, and then he took a break for a little bit, came back, took his time, released an album called Black in 2023, and that's when he started to catch a little bit of spark. He had a couple of songs that got almost 1 million streams on there, and then that's kind of where he started to find his flow. He started collabing with more people, and eventually released in 2024 New World Order, which just took off for him. Multiple extremely popular songs on there, so that's where he really found his flow and started working with the people he wanted to work with, and that's where Fimiguerrero originally took off. As of lately, he hasn't been releasing any albums. He hasn't released anything in 2025 yet, aside from singles. But he has been finding. He has been working with SD Kid a lot on SD Kid's first album, Rebel. I think they had 2 songs on there, both pretty good. Fimi's definitely finding the people he wants to work with, which I really like, and he's finding his flow. And I like that he's not like rushing to put out albums, because I think a lot of rappers in the underground game just rush to put singles and albums out like constantly, and then a lot of it is just not high quality music, like not the best of their ability. So I respect what Fimi's doing, not pushing out anything really fast. I like how he's working with other artists, taking his time to work on a new album, and also going on tour. I really respect that from him, to be honest. So yeah, I like the trajectory he's on, and I respect everything he's been doing recently. One thing I've noticed about Fimiguerrero, at least about his Instagram presence, is he seems to be kind of like nonchalant. He really doesn't post very often, and if he does, it's just like fit pics with like nonchalant captions. And yeah, he's kind of a traditional rapper, which when I made the Fang video, I talked about how Fang wasn't a traditional rapper, but they also have very different sounds. Fimiguerrero is a very traditional rapper. He, goes on pretty hard beats with beat drops and bass and whatnot. So I respect that a lot, and I also respect what Feng does, but they are definitely very different. Going based off his Instagram, he is a Manchester United fan, because he has 2 Instagram posts with him wearing a Manchester United jersey. Thinking about it now, it kind of confuses me that he's a Manchester United fan, because I'm pretty sure he's from East London, so that surprises me honestly quite a bit that he supports Manchester United. That's just surprising to me. So Fimiguerrero was actually born in Nigeria before he moved to London at a pretty young age, and honestly, I think London has had a pretty big change in his life in general. Obviously, coming as an immigrant, lots has changed in his life, and I think London is not technically his roots, but it's definitely shaped who he is as a person. One interesting thing about Fimiguerrero is that his manager his name is Bams. Bams is the designer of the clothing brand Angelus. I don't know if you guys know what that is, and I just thought that was kind of interesting to note. Growing up, it seems like Fimi did not have a father present in his life, which he doesn't touch on very often, but it's been noted before. He moved to London with just his mom and his brother, and eventually his brother ended up moving out. He doesn't talk about it too much. His family split up, and his relationship with his mother's a little confusing, but he has noted that these days she sends him videos on Snapchat of his mom playing music in her car. So the relationship in that family seems very confusing and complicated, and he doesn't talk about it very often, so it's not something that we know have much information about. Something really interesting about Fimi that I learned is growing up, he listened to a lot of his mom's music, which was more of Whitney Houston, like Celine Dion, and then eventually, with his friends, he would listen or he would make freestyles on BlackBerry speakers and freestyle in local parks. I don't know if you guys know what Blackberries are, but back in the day, that was what a lot of kids had growing up before we had iPhones. So yeah, that's kind of interesting to hear because a lot of people had Blackberries where I'm from, so it's kind of cool to hear that Fimiguerrero would do that too, and freestyling growing up. So it seems like he was always surrounded with music, which makes sense because I feel like a lot of artists have similar experiences when they rise to fame. So funny enough, Fimi actually went to uni for I think a year only, but he studied fashion marketing. And there's a very funny story behind that. So he actually ended up dropping out to pursue his music career, and that's back in 2019, kind of around when he first released that album. But Fimi decided to flip his student loans and buy Supreme, like a bunch of Supreme, and also go on expensive dates. So I just thought that'd be funny to mention that was what he did when he dropped out of uni. And of course he recorded music still, but I just thought that was worth mentioning because I thought it was really funny. So after Fimi decided to drop out of uni, he was on his own, of course, because he was about 19 or 20, I believe. And yeah, he ended up bouncing around multiple places in Europe. He went from Manchester to Copenhagen and would sleep in recording studios and couches, wake up and record. And he said he would wake up, back all hurting, the mic next to me. Forget though, I was hungry. I would do it all over again, which I really respect. I think that's really cool that he did that. And he really made it. Like, it's really cool to see that he had that drive and he really had that passion to make it out of where he was from. And it's awesome to see that he's doing what he's doing now. One thing that Fimi does a lot that really has helped him expand his music, especially when he was smaller, is concerts, honestly. Because Fimi, in my opinion, Fimi's music is perfect for concerts. So when he was still smaller, he was still doing shows after releasing some albums, and I'm sure that lots of people went just because of how perfect the music is for concerts. And word of mouth can just spread from there that about Fimiguerrero, and I think that's definitely what happened because his music is just literally perfection for a concert. So yeah, I think that's originally how he could have gotten a kick. I could be guessing, but I know concerts definitely helped for him. Nowadays, Fimi is sitting at about 1.3 million monthly listeners. His most recent single is Tartan, which is an absolute banger, so go check that out. So he's thriving right now. I'm loving what he's doing, and hoping nothing but the best for Fimi. And that's going to close out the video for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you leave a like, comment down below which artist you want me to make a video on next, and I will see you all in the next one.